What's up guys, Kyle here again. Today, we're gonna shoot out the Peavey 6505 MH and the EVH 5153 LBX. Let's do it! Alright, hope you guys are doing great out there today. We are checking out the Peavey 6505 MH and seeing how it stacks up against the EVH LBX 5153. So many numbers! So anyways, yeah, you guys, as I have mentioned many times, know that I am a huge fan of the 5150 6505 series. The LBX or Lunchbox or Mini Heads, whatever you want to call them, are no exception. I really dig these things. I think they sound great. I think they're an awesome lower cost and lower volume option, especially if you're looking to get into home recording and get some awesome tones out of that, or if you're playing gigs where you are mic'd up and stage volume isn't going to be an issue. But for belligerent amateurs like myself who dwell in the nether realms of the music world, playing no leads, no cleans, and playing a lot of stages where not everything is mic'd up properly, you're gonna want the extra volume and the extra headroom of the big boys to hang with a competent drummer. Anyways, yeah, that's my thoughts on where these lie as far as usefulness. I'm not gonna go over the features and everything because that's not really what I do. I just compare tones. Right here, the original LBX is actually my favorite of all of the Lunchbox size 5150 6505 heads. I don't know why. It just suits my ear the best. The master volume taper on it is absolutely terrible if you're playing by yourself. The 50 watts somehow has a better master volume taper than the little Lunchbox head. Otherwise, the tones that come out of this thing are absolutely fantastic. I really dig this one. The 6505 MH is also rad, but it seems to suffer a little bit of thinness and a little bit of a lack of clarity that I've mentioned a couple other times. Either way, I think they're both great. I think at their price points, the 6505 MH gives you more features, you get more bang for your buck, but overall, I think this one sounds just a little bit better. So anyways, what I'm gonna do, since the LBX original is the only one that has multiple gain channels, the other two have a clean and a gain channel, I'm gonna shoot it out with the crunch channel on the 6505 MH and the lead channel. So we're gonna get a little bit more mileage out of this one. I'm gonna leave the volumes as they are. I'm gonna put everything to noon on both amps. Switch that channel over, kick that crunch in. I don't know what I'm doing. Bright switch is on. Okay, so that opening clip, as always, I had my Deadweald Duality DX engaged. Nice boost out front with the gate as well. We're gonna turn that off and we're gonna experience both amps at noon on their lower gain channels. Real quick, before we do that, if this is you guys' first time here at my channel, what I do is I take awesome high gain amps, cabs, guitars, overdrives, I record them with a simple SM57 setup and give you guys the unprocessed audio. So if you're into high gain tones, E standard thrash riffs, all sorts of stuff like that, consider subscribing to my channel so you don't miss the next video. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's see how both these amps sound on the crunch channel at noon. All right, so the EVH has more saturation right off the bat, sounds a little bit more lively in my opinion. Let's bump those gains up to 11 o'clock on both, and let's see how that sounds. Okay, a lot more saturation on what would be the blue channel if my LED was working here on the EVH LBX than the 6505 MH has on the crunch channel at the same setting. Let's bump them both up to 1 o'clock. And I am also going to add a little bit of presence because the 6505 is sounding kind of dead to my ears. All right, so now they're sounding a little bit closer. I would say the EVH has a little bit more of a low mid thing going on and is still a little bit more saturated at this gain setting. All right, so the EVH definitely has more gain, sounds more modern with everything at noon as it is here. Let's bump those gains up to 3 o'clock. Woo! Getting noisy. All right, so the Peavey on the crunch is just, the crunch channel on these amps has never been what I've liked. I know a lot of my friends like the green channel with a boost out front, but I've always liked the lead channel a little bit better. So let's pull the gain back a little bit on the 6505. Let's pull it back to noon on the EVH. Let's kick the Deadweald green channel back in again. All right, so again, the crunch channel on the Peavey seems a little bit more muffled, not as many frequencies kind of poking out. The EVH sounds a little bit livelier to me. It sounds like it's got a little bit more upper mid and a little bit more presence to it. Maybe a tad thinner because of that presence. We're gonna pull those highs back and bump the mids just a little bit. Yeah, that sounds... Oh man, I really dig that EVH. The Peavey sounds good too, but the EVH sounds great. Again, the mids seem rounder in the 6505. They seem a little bit more like spiky in the LBX, I guess. All right, so that is the crunch channel and the blue channel. Let's go over to the lead channels on both. I don't even know what buttons to push. I don't even care. All right, let's turn the gains down on both lead channels to off because they both come on extremely quick. That's what she said. We're gonna turn the gain off, or the boost. We're turning everything off. Turn it off. I really don't know what I'm doing. All right, so with both settings like that, with the gain, they basically are clean. There we go, now we got something. EVH is a little bit more saturated once the gain comes on and seems to have a little bit more bottom end. Both are now just above 1. It's almost like the 6505 sounds like kind of like a not amazing amp sim. I'm all cattywampus here. But the 6505 almost sounds like a simulation of what the 6505 should sound like, whereas the Lunchbox sounds like the real deal. There's just this weird muffled thing going on in the Peavey that I can never get rid of. That's better. Peavey has nice mids on this one. All right, so again, Peavey still rounder mids, a little bit more muffled sounding. All right, yeah, everything I'm saying just stands true for me personally. These are my opinions. This is what I'm hearing. Let me know in the comments what you guys hear, what differences you guys hear, but I'm really preferring the EVH. Both amps are tight enough that they don't need a boost. Overall, the EVH just seems more modern in voicing. I really dig it, man. I think it's a great amp. So we're gonna kick on the all-pedal Slamurai Bushido boost because this one doesn't suck out as much low end and these are already pretty thin and tight on these channels. So the EVH sounds like it actually has a little bit more low-end fullness to it. I'm gonna pull the resonance up quite a bit on the EVH. I don't know what I'm saying here. What did I just say? The 6505 sounds a little bit fuller, but I just bumped the resonance on the EVH. Now they sound nice and big. A little bit too much like sub-low for me, but let's play one riff and we'll call it a day on these. But they both sound really good. I'm gonna turn the mids back up on the 6505. All right, last riff. Slamurai Bushido drive is still on. So there you have it, guys. What did you think about the differences between these two amps? Which one would you prefer? Tell me down below in the comments. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on what the differences are coming through the microphone on your end versus what I'm hearing here in the room. Tell me how wrong I am for liking the 5150 more than the 6505, whatever, I don't care. Just drop some comments and we'll talk down there about it. I hope that you guys found this video helpful if you're shopping between the two. and this helps you kind of decide based on the tonality of each amp. But yeah, thanks so much for stopping by, guys. I appreciate you watching. If you like, give the video a like, hit the subscribe button on the way out so you don't miss the next one. Kyle here again. We'll see you next time.